So FIFA changed a handful of rules for this World Cup. They've been pretty open about it. Coaches got briefed, the press has been talking about it for weeks. But covered in the news and people actually understand it are two very different things. Most folks still have no clue what's different. Here's a quick one. This summer, if a goalkeeper holds onto the ball too long, the other team gets a corner. A corner for stalling. That rule did not exist the last time you watched a World Cup. And that's just one of them. There's a new rule about who's even allowed to talk to the referee. And it's not who you'd guess. There's a way to pick up a straight red card now without laying a finger on anybody. Little changes, big consequences. None of this is complicated. People just haven't explained it like a normal human yet. So that's the plan. Every new rule, fast, in plain English. So when one of these shows up mid-match, you're the one in the room going, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what just happened." Let's start with the goalkeepers. New rule. A keeper gets 8 seconds to release the ball. Go over, and the other team gets a corner. A corner for stalling. The old rule was 6 seconds for an indirect free kick, but refs never called it, so keepers held the ball as long as they liked. Now the punishment's scary enough to matter, and teams are going to score off it. Best part, when the keeper's down to his last 5 seconds, the ref raises an arm and counts it down by hand, right in front of everyone. In testing, once keepers knew the ref would actually count, the stalling just stopped. The rule barely gets used because it works by existing. Next one, same idea, different spot. The 5-second restart. You know the guy. Teams up a goal, and suddenly every throw-in takes a year and a half. Drawing the ball, scanning for a teammate somewhere in Belgium, not anymore. Drag a throw-in past 5 seconds. You lose it. Other team's ball. Drag a goal kick. It's worse. The other team gets a corner. Same raised arm, same countdown. Players see it go up, they hurry up. Done. Then my favorite, because it's the pettiest, the 10-second sub. The classic move. Guy gets subbed off while winning, takes a slow, scenic walk across the whole pitch, quietly killing 40 seconds. Now, the board goes up, you've got 10 seconds to get off, and you leave at the nearest line. No farewell tour. Take too long, and your replacement waits a full minute. So your team plays a man down for 60 seconds because somebody wanted his moment. Coaches are going to lose it the first time this costs a goal. Now, injuries. Because this one's been abused for years. You've seen it. A guy goes down, the physio jogs on, magic spray, he's healed in 15 seconds, and somehow the clock burned 2 minutes. New rule. If you get treated on the field, you've got to come off and stay off for 1 full minute. The idea is simple. If you're hurt enough to stop the game, you're hurt enough to sit for a minute. And if you're faking, well, now your team's down a man for being dramatic. There are sensible exceptions. Goalkeepers, head injuries, and a guy who's about to take a penalty don't have to leave. But the casual flop and recover? That's done. And tied to that, there's a quieter crackdown most people will miss. The tactical timeout. Here's the trick teams figured out. Your side's getting battered. You need a breather. So the keeper suddenly goes down injured, and while he's getting looked at, all 10 outfield players casually drift over to the touchline for a little chat with the coach. Free team meeting, mid-game, no timeout required. Officials are done with it. The keeper's allowed to be hurt, but the rest of the squad can't go strolling to the bench for a sideline huddle. No more sneaky reset disguised as an injury. Last one for this block, and it's the only change that's actually for the players. Hydration breaks. This World Cup is in the US, Mexico, and Canada in June and July. Some of these cities are going to be brutal. We're talking afternoon kickoffs in genuine furnace weather. So there's now a built-in 3-minute drinks break midway through each half, every single game. Players grab water, coaches sneak in instructions, and bodies don't cook on the field. It sounds minor until you remember guys are running 8-9 miles a match in that heat. So step back and look at the whole package. FIFA basically took every classic way to waste time. The keeper, the throw-in, the sub, the fake injury, the bench huddle, and slapped a real punishment on each one, then added the heat break so it stays humane. Less stalling, more actual football, fewer of those dead final 10 minutes where nothing happens and everyone pretends that's normal. But the next set of changes, those aren't about the clock at all. They're about behavior. Who's even allowed to talk to the referee now? And a brand new way to get yourself sent off without laying a finger on anybody. Okay, the clock stuff is handled. Now we get into behavior. And this is where the World Cup's about to look genuinely different. Start with the big one, the captain-only rule. You know the scene. Ref makes a call, and instantly 8 players sprint over and surround him. Shouting, pointing, jabbing fingers, treating the guy like he just keyed their car. Total chaos. Done. New rule. Only the captain is allowed to approach the referee to talk about a decision. That's it. 1 player. Anybody else who comes charging in to argue picks up a yellow card for it. And it's smarter than it sounds. It's not about silencing players. It's about killing the mob. 1 calm conversation instead of 10 guys screaming at once. Captains are suddenly going to matter way more because they're the only mouthpiece on the field. Pick a hothead as your captain, and that's now a real tactical problem. I genuinely think this one changes how teams behave more than any other rule on the list. Next, a brand new way to get sent off without touching a soul. 2 of them, actually. First, if you cover your mouth with your hand, your arm, or your shirt while you're confronting an opponent, that's a straight red. Why? Because players started hiding their mouths specifically so cameras and lip readers couldn't catch what they were saying, usually because it was something nasty. So the rule's blunt. If you've got nothing to hide, don't hide your mouth. And to be fair, it only applies in a confrontation. 2 buddies having a laugh and covering up, that's fine, nobody's getting sent off for gossip. Second red card trigger, walking off the pitch in protest. Don't like a call, so you storm off to make a statement? Red card. And if a whole team tries it, refuses to play, causes the match to get abandoned, they don't get a replay or sympathy. They forfeit. They lose the game, full stop. FIFA basically looked at every form of on-field tantrum and put a price tag on it. And then the last piece, the one running quietly in the background all tournament. The VAR just got more powerful. Now, VAR's been around, but this World Cup, it can step into situations it couldn't touch before. 3 of them. 1, if a player gets a wrong second yellow card and gets sent off by mistake, VAR can flag it so the ref takes another look. Real protection, because a bad red can wreck an entire match. 2, if the ref shows a card to the wrong player, wrong number, wrong guy, happens more than you'd think, VAR can fix the mix-up. And 3, there's now an optional check on whether a corner was actually a corner. Sounds tiny, until you remember how many goals start from a corner that maybe should have been a goal kick. Notice the pattern. VAR isn't getting bigger, so it can pause the game every 30 seconds. It's getting bigger to catch the specific game-wrecking mistakes. The wrong man, the wrong red, the phantom corner. Cleaning up the stuff that genuinely changes who wins. So let's bring it all home. Remember how I said at the start that FIFA changed a handful of rules and most people have no idea? Now you do. The keeper can't hug the ball anymore. 8 seconds or it's a corner. Throw-ins, goal kicks, subs, fake injuries, all on a clock now. Only the captain talks to the ref. Cover your mouth in an argument or storm off in protest, and you're walking. And the VAR's watching for the big mistakes that used to slip through. Here's the one sentence to keep. None of these rules reinvented football. They just made it harder to cheat the clock and the referee. That's the whole story. So, my prediction? Within the first week, one of these costs a big team a goal. Probably the keeper holding the ball 1 beat too long. And half the world's gonna be Googling, wait, why is that a corner? And you won't have to. You'll already know. If this actually made the rules click for you, do me a favor and subscribe. I'm breaking down the whole tournament like this as it goes. No jargon, no nonsense. See you for the next one.